What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 90210 Faux Show. All right, this is a 1990 to 2000 Beverly Hills 90210 podcast where we break down episodes of 90210 and we just talk about those beautiful people. All right, everybody, this episode we're going to be talking about the episode 10, which is technically probably episode 11 because they didn't count the pilot, I'm pretty sure. This episode's called B.Y.O.B, so you know what that's called, right? I don't know, maybe it's Bring Your Own Brandon or Bring Your Own Brenda, right? But no, I think it's just Bring Your Own Booze is what it's about. So this episode, like a lot of other episodes, like the last episode we talked about is where Brenda and Dylan were getting hot and heavy because they just kind of got their romance going and they almost had sex. And then they also talked about AIDS because they had an AIDS speaker come to the school, right? Or the last episode, a few episodes before that is when Jackie Taylor was doing cocaine in front of Kelly Taylor and just like, Mom, what are you doing with this little pick-me-up? And you're going to lose alimony if you start doing blow again and, stuff like that. So this episode, no different, okay? That's a good thing about 90210. They were breaking down things and they went deep on topics that teens are going through. This one, drinking, okay? This one's drinking, something I knew a lot about in high school. This aired January 10th, 1991, and automatically cuts to a rich kid party, all right? They one of the first scenes getting it going once the show gets moving. Brandon gets drugged to this party. Brandon really didn't want to go. Dylan didn't want to go either. Dylan's like, nah, I ain't going to that. Been there, done that, Brent. I won't be going. So then they go there, right? Kelly Taylor is drinking a little bit, and they go, I didn't think you drank because your mom drinks. She goes, my mom drinks. I sip. All right? They kind of tell you the difference. Steve Sanders working the bartender, doing the blended and stuff like that. Brandon goes, look, I'm not drinking alcohol, Steve Sanders. But Steve, like a little freaking slime bag that Steve Sanders is, he goes, I'll make you a virgin daiquiri. How about that? Like a virgin mango daiquiri or something like that. Brandon being naive, he goes, yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Okay, we'll do that. So then Steve, obviously pouring alcohol and sugar into his drink. Brandon starts to sip on it. He spikes his drink. Brandon doesn't know. Brandon, first of all, he starts drinking this thing, gets one in him, gets another one in him. He realizes, like, oh my God, what's so funny? Why are you guys laughing at this drink I made that I've been drinking or whatever like that? And then Brandon finds out, like, Steve, did you spike my drink? And then him and Steve in the middle of the party have this, like, peer pressure thing. It's not like they're, like, reinventing the wheel here. But Brandon, with peer pressure, looking around, people looking at him, he's like this lame that doesn't like to drink. Says, yeah, it's not bad, man. I'll continue to drink this, whatever like that. So Brandon starts to drink, and guess what? Brandon gets drunk. He's at the party. He's having a good old time with his little Beverly Hills friends. Brandon's up there dancing with some strange chick, and Brenda's just peeping it out because Brenda's not really drinking at all. And she didn't drink at all. And comes to find out, Brandon and Brenda come home. Mom's still waiting up. Brenda goes to give her a kiss goodnight. Jim and Cindy Walsh realize, like, oh my God, Brenda was drinking. And they don't even think nothing of Brandon. They're like, Brandon, he ain't doing anything. Next morning, Brenda wasn't even drinking. Brandon was the one drinking. Next morning, they think Brenda's the bad one. They're like, what's your damn problem, Brenda? Why you drink? Brenda takes the blame for it, doesn't even bring it up that Brandon was the one drinking. And shows their dynamic that they have. And also shows, like, these goddamn parents. Like, I used to come home tanked. And my parents, my stepdad and my mom would be sleeping, and I would just come in tanked. It was like I had a fucking apartment sometimes by myself, But not these kids. They got, like, Jim and Cindy Walsh, good kids, all right? Still not looking at Brandon, but Brandon was the one drinking. Brandon was the one that drove home, okay? Not even talking about that yet, okay? So as we go on in this episode, it's definitely a drinking episode, okay? Jim and Cindy Walsh are going to go out of town because they got this work thing. And then the kids find out, and they go, oh, my God, we're going to have a party at your place. We're going to invite the whole goddamn neighborhood. Brandon's like, no, I don't think so. And then Brenda's like, come on, Brandon. Stop being a tightwad. I want Dylan to take me up and grab my booty and to kind of kiss on this neck. Let's get the pretzels out. So then Brandon jumps on board, right? And, Brandon's almost like a fish to water. Like, 150 people show up at the Walsh's house. Brandon starts having drinks. And that's another thing. Like, these guys are doing like they're drinking like Russian soldiers or something, where they're like, "Ooga," they're doing. I don't know what these phrases are that they watched some damn Stallone movie. They thought that's what people do when they do shots and stuff like that. But let's just say it turns into a mess. Okay, these kids drinking, they turn into a mess. If anybody, dude, ugh. To think that these guys are supposed to be sophomores in high school, and Brandon's having a good old time with Steve Sanders, and they're doing shots, and Brandon's like a fish to water. He went right to this stuff, man. And comes to find out, the cops show up. All right, Dylan McKay, not the drinker, with Brenda, kind of like, can you guys answer the door and handle that? And they go, yeah, we'll keep it down, which that never happens. The cops come in and they go, get the fuck out of here. We're cuffing people, especially if you're like underage drinking. I don't care if it's Beverly Hills or not. They're cuffing people up. Guess what happens? They run out of booze. Guess what happens? Steve Sanders, pain in the ass, says, hey, we got to make a beer run. I'll go to my house, get the liquor. Brandon, you go to the store for munchies. Brandon's been drinking. Guess what happens? Brandon gets on the road with that piece of shit car, gets in an accident, and gets arrested. It sounds like he wrecked into a car or a truck. Nobody gets hurt, but he gets arrested for I'm pretty sure a DUI. So Brandon, being the good boy, being the smart boy, loses his license and almost kills somebody. Looks very bad. Cindy and Jim Walsh have to come back from their trip, and now you got to see Brandon in this light. And literally, Brenda was the good girl in this one. In a way, she did classic Brenda stuff when the parents come back and Brenda's like, I didn't even do anything. It's like, shut up, Brenda. Sometimes like, I see how Brenda Walsh, like sometimes you like her, but now that time's going on, I feel like she's just more of a pain in the ass. Like Brenda Walsh is like, she's definitely the pain in the ass. I don't know if they were writing it like, I assume they are writing it like that. But Brenda, like already, I'm just like, ugh, God. Because she's always the victim. Like, she's always like, I didn't even do anything. Why? It's just like, oh, God. Right? Brandon comes out of jail. The parents give him a hug. Family comes home because it must be on the late night. Brenda's scrubbing carpet, and then the parents find out, oh, yeah, you had 150 people at our house, and you're ruining our shit. And Brenda goes, yeah, but you don't understand, Dad. That type of thing. And, getting sassy where, if this was a white trash family, she might get, like, roughed up. The mom might beat her up or something like that, or smack her around, or, like, grab her arm hard and throw her, say, get to the bedroom. Not in Beverly Hills. They don't play that bullshit. They talk it out diplomatically. So anyways, come to find out, look, the parents are upset. They're pissed off. They know these kids. They go away for a weekend. Andrea Zuckerman got mad at Brandon because he was drinking. She showed up at the party before Brandon got in an accident. They make up because Brandon's walking around with his head low. I mean, his head is really low. Brandon knows he really is better than this. So the one thing I like about this at the end, Brandon's working at the Peach Pit. He's got his head low, right? Guess who shows up? That hot piece of ass, Dylan McKay. All right, doing his James Dean impersonation. Boy, they did this. They made this guy look like James Dean so much, or they tried to have that essence where he had the same black jacket and the same white T-shirt and like the hair, like it's that classic like James Dean look that they're trying to sell Dylan McKay on. And Dylan shows up and says, "Look, man, I've been there before." And Brandon's like, "Not like me, motherfucker. Okay, sorry to drop the MFers, but this is what Brandon's in a deep hole right now, man." And Brandon's like, "Not me, man. Not like this." And Dylan's like, "Yeah, I have." And what basically Dylan does is he takes him to school, right? West Beverly High is what I'm saying. And Brandon's like, "I come here enough in the daytime. What are we doing here at night?" And then next thing you know, Dylan takes him to an AA class. And you hear everybody getting up saying, "Hi, I'm Teresa. I'm an alcoholic." And they're like, "Hey, I'm Matt. I'm an alcoholic." And then out of nowhere, Dylan goes, "I'm Dylan, and I'm an alcoholic." And him and Brandon look at each other. And they know. This is one of those bonding episodes for Dylan and Brandon, just realizing, like, look, man, I've been there. I've kind of done that. And I'm an alcoholic. And it's one more step closer to these guys becoming buddies and bonding. And then at the end, of course, Brandon comes in and hugs it out with Jim McKay because it's still, at this point, still kind of like a family show. I mean, it's definitely about the Walshes and how good of a family unit they are. and kind of come together. But yeah, episode this the BYOB was a good episode. If it's kind of dramatic, man. I mean, it's kind of corny dramatic. Like, I mean, yes. I mean, is it like Breaking Bad? Of course not. But for like these teen shows, you know, and who was watching at the time, and 90210 is one of those things where, for example, like I didn't really like these episodes of 90210 as much as I liked the later episodes, like when they were in their 20s and stuff, and they're Peach Pit After Dark. I'm more of a Peach Pit After Dark type of 90210 fan, but I do like these a lot too, though. I mean, I'm a huge fan throughout. But so I can see how some people, they would watch this now and they go, God, this is garbage. But if you were watching at the time, you understand. And, they're taking on heavy topics. And whether people think that, they're worth anything or not, I mean, they really didn't have to do that. Guys, please, 90210 for show is the podcast. I'm Eric Pinnell, 1975 on Instagram. Please follow me on that. Please subscribe. Please share. 90210, man. I love you guys. Take it easy. Bye.